Happy Thursday, y'all, at 3:40 in the afternoon. But I promised y'all a video. Y'all, I come up in this house on 2 wheels. I'm not kidding. I got supper going. I rushed in here, which I had a little bit prepped this morning because I had to go to town to the dentist. Yeah, I cracked a tooth. All is well. I go back in 2 weeks to reevaluate what we gonna do. So, I rolled up in here, started getting everything done and laid out. And I don't know what time it's gonna post, but you have my word. It will post sometime tonight. So y'all probably gonna see this Friday morning. But I wasn't gonna miss this video. Plus I had to get it done, y'all. I'm on a schedule. You know what I mean? But I hope your Thursday's going good. Y'all wanna know how mine started? At 2 a.m. with no air conditioning. We about died. So ding-a-ling-a-ling at 7:30 this morning. Well, I had to be at the dentist. So Buddy had to come back home when the guy was about 30 minutes out and look at it. And it was the drain stopped up again. Now this has happened a couple of times. Now remember, this is our AC guy, and he had already talked to us about putting, I don't know, it's like a pump or something. So Buddy said, look, I've made the executive decision. We're gonna call our AC guy, say go ahead, put a pump in. Because it's inevitable, it's gonna happen again. Something about the drain fills up, and we still don't understand why it's doing it. I mean, maybe Buddy has a better understanding than I do. But anyhow, I got home to air conditioned. Buddy went back to work, and I was like, I'm not fixing to do a community post and say, hey, tomorrow you'll see the video. I'm going to hold to my word. So I'm fixing to stir my meat right now because what I'm doing is I'm making a big batch of lasagna, and I'm going to freeze a couple of them. We'll have a small one for tonight. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'm going to give you the ingredients along with the measurements that I'm doing. I'm doubling this recipe, but in the description, I will have the recipe. And yes, this is out of one of my ball books. It's one of my favorite sauce. It's actually listed as I think it's called chicken wing sauce, but I kind of deviate from it, still within safety guidelines. And y'all, it's the best wing sauce. Brown you some chicken on the grill, baste it, because you can take this and you can move it to some Asian flavors. It is absolutely amazing, especially when you come in with some fresh ginger, when you're wanting to use it as a basting. But we're dippers. I dip my grilled chicken, my grilled pork chop. I love to dip, just anything. I'm a big dipper. And this is out of this world delicious. And like I said, when you open a jar and you want to pour it into some vegetables or something and put that Asian flair on it, you've already got the base. It's phenomenal. So I'm smelling my Italian sausage. I got to go stir that. To this stock pot, I'm going to give you the standard recipe. I will be doubling it, but it's best I give you the standard recipe. 10 cups of diced, cored, and peeled tomatoes. 10 cups. 1 cup diced or finely chopped sweet onion. 1 cup. 1/2 cup of brown sugar. 1.5 cups of white distilled vinegar. 4 teaspoons canning salt. 1.5 teaspoons minced garlic. 1 teaspoon ground allspice. 1 teaspoon ground clove. Now, this is where I'm deviating from the recipe. I use whole allspice and I use whole clove. Y'all have seen me use this in a tea strainer. I just have a pinch of both because I don't like the way the ground tastes. But for the recipe, it's 1 teaspoon each of the ground. Now to this mason jar, 1 teaspoon ground ginger and 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon. Okay, I've got my tomatoes and my onions. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of cayenne. Now this is where you can omit the cayenne. I'm going to add my 1 cup of brown sugar. The recipe is going to tell you 1/2 cup. But like I said, the original recipe will be in the description. I might have should have went with a larger pot, but this will be fine because it's got to cook down. Now we're actually going to bring this to a boil. Then we're going to turn it down and simmer it for 30 to 40 minutes. Because you want to start seeing it reduce by half. And that's all we got to do at this point. That gives me time to get my lasagna going. Look at those beautiful tomatoes. Okay, I'm going to bring it to a boil. Once it reaches a boil, I'm going to let it do a steady simmer, 30 to 45 minutes. We've been going about 15 minutes. Look at that. Now this is going to reduce greatly, but I want to show you something. That is the level of boil that you want. I'm sitting on a number 6. I brought it up to a rapid boil, reduced it down, and I'm stirring, you know, occasionally just so to make sure it doesn't stick. So I'm looking at probably another 30 minutes. So we'll probably go a good 45 minutes on this step. As you can see, I had to change pots. I knew better, but I did let it go 50 minutes. Okay, now we let it cool down 25 to 30 minutes. So this is a recipe that takes some patience, but the results is worth it. So here you go, 50 minutes. We got to let it cool down. We're almost close to adding the other ingredients. Okay, y'all. I let it sit 20 minutes. I just wanted it to sit long enough to where that piping hot tomato wouldn't splatter back on me. It's still hot, but I suggest letting it rest 20-25 minutes to where when you blend it, and it doesn't, you don't risk it coming back on you and burning you. Now I'm going to use an immersion blender. You can use a blender, you can use whatever gadget you have. But at this point, we want to puree this very well. Not soupy, but very well. Now it's going to get thick on you because remember, we let this cook for 50 minutes. So I'm going to get it blended, and then we're going to start adding the goodies, and we're almost there to water bath. And yes, this is a water bath recipe. Look at this beautiful pureed sauce. Now the good stuff goes in. In goes my 3 cups of vinegar, but remember, I'm doubling this. The recipe's going to tell you 1.5 cups. In goes the salt. Single batch is 4 teaspoons. In with our garlic. You can use fresh or minced. Here's our ginger and our cinnamon. That was 1 teaspoon each on the recipe. I'm doubling, so it's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ginger. Give this a good stir. Now at this point, this is where you could add your powdered clove and allspice. I'm going to actually use my tea strainer. And like I said, I have just a, can you see? Just a little pinch of both. Oop, and I just lost that. I don't want that little piece of clove in there, guys. Let me drop this down. There we go. And I'll fish it out. Now that's stainless steel tea strainer. Okay. We're gonna bring this back up to a slow boil. So can you see how that flavor profile, once you open a jar, you can add some ginger, hoisin, soy sauce. It really lends more to an Asian by doctoring it up, because I like it just like this. Now, once it comes to a boil, this is where true patience is tested. We will turn it down to a very, very low simmer, stirring often because it would stick on you. 1 hour. Or should I say, at about the 40-minute mark, start checking it, because you want it to get to the consistency that you like. And that's what I love about this recipe. Mine goes almost an hour. I don't want it so syrupy thick, but I do want it to have some thickness. But this is where you're going to be judging of your desired thickness. We're there, y'all. Perfect timing. My pressure canner's telling me, fill the jars. But remember, we're water bathing. Now, it's 15 minutes for half pints and pints. But guys, this is really a recipe for half pints, which is a jelly jar. So I'm going to get my jars out, drop the camera. We're going to ladle up one. But mine did go an hour. And then, of course, I'll show you the consistency. The smell is amazing. Now, let me say, about the 40-minute mark, I did pull my tea strainer out. I don't want, when I start smelling like the clove and the allspice, so that depends on your nose or taste, I pull it out. And it is perfect that way. I don't leave it in the full hour. But you'll see the consistency, and it is phenomenal. Guys, it's some of the best sauce. Now, when you get ready to use it, if you want to, you could actually put it in a saucepan, reduce it down by half, and then it's really, really thick, like a base. And I've actually done that and added a little apple juice to baste grilling. But like I said, I use this as dipping sauce. I use it as my wings when we make buffalo wings. This is my go-to, where a lot of people use, I think it's Pete's. You can actually melt your butter, use this in place of the Pete's or whatever. Fantastic. And if you want to, bring in the Asian to kind of tweak it like that, if you like that flavor, which we do, I bring in the ginger, a little bit more. You can do molasses in there. Basically, this is the base to make it whichever flavor you want. It is fantastic if you add a little pineapple. I mean, it's just incredible. But I dip just like it is. But, oh my God. And you don't have to use all the dry ingredients. I know that there's a couple of you ladies that can't have cinnamon. Leave the cinnamon out. So tweak it yourself as far as your dry seasoning. But you really want it more on the heavier side, like your allspice, like your ginger, your cinnamon, your clove. You're missing out if you leave it all out. You know what I mean? But yeah, let me get my jars. Let's get this done. It is 7:28 in the evening. But I was not gonna skip today's video, because this was the last day of the marathon. There won't be a video tomorrow or through the weekend. But hey, I may resume come Monday, because I was going to do a salsa, but I just did that last summer. But I still have a lot of tomatoes. Of course, I'm saving them for a special occasion. If I get those hatch chilies, we're going to be doing scratch rotel. So, all right, let's get this can done. Hey, here we go. And we're leaving 1/2 inch headspace. Perfect. So that's 1 ladle. Now I will be debubbling. 10 half pints going in the water bath. And I have enough sauce to do 10 more. Ooh, this is hot. So I'm not going to bore you. I'm going to get this canner going. 15-minute water bath. when it's done, I'll get my other round in there, and I'll show y'all the end results at the end of the video. So I'm going to leave it with y'all, and I'm going to say that I am sorry it's going to be a late video, but I said I was going to do a 4-day marathon, and guys, we made it happen. I've got my 10 half pints going, and I'll do my, oh yeah, easily another 10. So you're going to yield about 20 half pints if you double the recipe. If you single it, which is what I would do to see if it's something that you like. But I'll leave the original ball recipe in the description for y'all to look at. And like I said, you can kind of change up the allspice, the cinnamon, you know, but you got to leave some in there. If you leave anything, I would almost say the ginger and the allspice, if you wanted to omit the clove and the cinnamon. That would be the two that I would try to leave in. But as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And y'all will see the results right about now. Bye, y'all.